there's the other comms.
Yeah, that's it. If any of them did, just literally goes, "That really what you ought to be doing." Just be yelling at her. Yeah, he's probably got wrong. You're on this game? Nah, I got the cup game. Yeah, plate game. Are you going to send Matt off? Oh, if he does something that warrants a red card. Or maybe it's something that warrants a yellow. What? What are these guys what? Jordan had the crop. Where are they from? They just a bunch of mates and they play. They're living with Rex. And then, where's the other? You got 6 to if you're walking out. 71, you're on? Hey guys.
What's going on?
Cookies, mate.
I got some cookies in my bag, actually.
Nice.
I just saw them and I was like, oh, I can get one.
How you doing? Yeah, I was set up on 3 and then like,
Lucky there's time between games for you to relocate, mate.
yeah, so I said, I hope
I see you had, you had a helper carrying your stuff over and all. That's how you moved up a little bit.
this is your stuff to be like rented out or something. Like, when I was doing SEN last year, I was covering all sports. So as soon as you go into cricket, I go, okay, yeah.
I think you're like me, where you can just like,
When you
talk it up and if you've got now the action knows the game,
yeah.
so like,
Yeah, like, to be fair, if you said, hey, look, there's an opportunity, like, I don't know, you did like another house or something on the week, then I would be going, okay, sweet, so I didn't get into the kind of mindset.
yeah, we've got a few guys who could be analysed, but like,
I don't know the league and stuff.
there's a few other guys, there's one of the guys who can commentate, like, we can just talk off commentary and
Yes.
like, build out a story and then be like, okay, now, so that's like normal goes on,
Yeah, Justin, yeah, of course.
and then train them a bit.
We did that last year, the SEM was the jump from spot to spot, so we'd sometimes go into like NFL games, where we get like the club captain or something, and the boys would come along, and he would just start running through the game with us as well, just tap into the club, go back to the game,
That's what I figured, so yeah, like through my sorry mate.
what I was thinking as well when I was thinking about yesterday, especially like the idea of for this second game of Western and Hooks, like potentially something pre-game, just not many players.
I drafted a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. No one's going to watch it. I like the
On your bucket list, so that was one of the
Good afternoon and welcome to the Northern New South Wales Football Community Plate Final Clash. We're coming to you from Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility, and it's an intriguing battle between two regional standouts. Crowders Bay United, the undefeated juggernauts of Zone League 2, and the Northern Storm, a side of flying the flag for the North Coast Premier League. The best of community football here, clashing for the Community Plate. The Crabs from Crowders Bay have been nothing short of dominant in their league so far. 15 wins from 15 starts, 49 goals scored and just 8 conceded. They've got a star-studded lineup and they're ready to roll here today. Their cup run has been commanding. They've put 12 past Merriweather. They saw off Singleton from the Northern League 1 and NPL side New Lambton Golden Eagles before dropping a game to Maitland in their last round of the State Cup. That result might sting, but it will sharpen their resolve here today. Northern Storm, meanwhile, arrived with plenty of quality themselves. They're sitting 4th in their competition and had clean sheets against Port Saints and 3 goals past both Byron Bay and Coffs Coast earlier in this campaign. And they've got some sharpshooters. Jyden Pike leads their line with 9 league goals this season. The Storm might not have the perfect league record, but they've certainly got grit. They had a 1-1 draw with Inverell early in their cup run, which followed with a shootout win, provided they're up for the fight. I'm Chris McPherson, and joining me is a man who knows how to break down the game with some insight and precision, Matt Butner. Welcome along.
Yes, thank you, Chris.
Mate, what are you looking forward to here?
Yeah, I'm excited to see 2 good community clubs bash it out today for some silverware. I'm really excited to see the brand of football here today on this turf as well. We're not playing on grass. We had a little bit of rain overnight in the previous couple of days, but conditions are good. I just want to see the ball rolling, and I want to see what team comes out first and is really chasing that silverware today.
Well, Southern Polish against Northern Steel, and only one of these will lift the silverware come the end of today. We're looking forward to that. Let's take a look at how the 2 sides line up. Butts, if you want to start with the Northern Storm.
Northern Storm, number 1, Harrison Mitchell. Number 2, Harrison Scott. Number 4, Ethan Andrews. Number 6, James Teal. Number 8, Campbell Breer. Number 9, NCN Mueng Lina. Number 10, Jared Kohler. 11, Marco Kisso. 16, Jeffrey Odgers. 17, Matthew Newberry. Number 19, Benjamin Dove. On the bench, we have number 3, Masara Gedahan. 5, Flynn Tice. 7, Nicholas Sweeney. 12, Thomas Sweeney. 18, Jyden Pike. And 22, Mitchell Whedon.
And for Crowders Bay, we've got number 5 is Alex Grant. Number 8 is Chandra Bryant. Number 20, Jackson McLeod. 24, Callum Garbutt, a name that NPL fans will know. 27, Matthew Boslin. 24, Luke Muller. 52, Jackson Sullivan. 61, Dan McKinnon. 63, Harry Dagwell. 78, Kai Falshon. 81, Tom Curran. On the bench, another name that plenty of NPL fans will know. Number 1, Scott Carney. Number 2 is Cam Johnson. 10, Harrison McLean. 22, Elijah Barnes. 30, William Chinello. And 73, Zach Matevsky. And we are set for your community play final. Kickoff almost upon us. Crowders Bay Crabs in their pink kit on the left of your screen, heading to the right, and Northern Storm will be in the predominantly white strip. Butts, how are you seeing it shape up? Have we got a tip?
We've got a tip. I like the pink in Crowders Bay. Reminds me a little bit of Inter Miami. Bit of Lionel Messi style. I'd like to see them have a good start, and you said they've had a great start this season as well. 15 wins in 15 games, so I am excited to see how they start this game and progress.
Well, they've only lost the 1 game this season, and that was in the qualifying rounds of the Australia Cup to Maitland FC, which is, no slight on anyone. Maitland are surging up the ladder in the NPL as we see the ball dropping back for the keeper for Northern Storm. Meanwhile, though, when you have a look at Northern Storm's run, the team that knocked them out, we'll see them later today when we call it the State Cup final. And that's Cooks Hill United, a 1-0 loss in the game before the game that saw Cooks Hill qualify for the round of 32. The Cooks Hill, though, they're through to the last 16, so Northern Storm would take confidence from that.
Yeah, massive confidence, and look, I'm excited to see the brand of football they play today. So they've got the ball at the halfway mark at the moment, but yeah, like you said, Cooks Hill progressing to the 16, and they would have seen that result and thought we weren't far off.
Exactly right. Newberry now will take this, drives it forward, can't find a target. Crowders Bay go straight on the attack. A little bit of a slip there. Something to adjust to for some of these teams playing on the synthetic if they're not familiar with it. The ball runs a lot truer, but traction not quite the same. Ball forward, looking for Tom Curran. Grant working around with the ball, loses possession. Teal chips it forward. Now they come wide. That's Matt Newberry feeding it in. Play broken up by the captain in Bryant. You can see both sides feeling each other out. You see that obviously in a lot of these big games, Butts, but especially these two because they wouldn't have seen each other before. There wouldn't be a lot of footage available. It'll just be very much finding out how they're setting up and where the touch and skill is for each team.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Chris. And like you said, both sides foreign to each other, play in different competitions, and they are going to use this first 10-15 minutes just to feel each other out, get a touch on the ball, and like you said earlier, probably unfamiliar with this playing surface. So they're just going to get used to how the ball rolls, find out their individual battles and what they need to do to try and help their side move forward in this game.
They both will know the huge opportunity for their clubs to claim a piece of region-wide silverware. And we will see the first of the set pieces here, a corner for Northern Storm. Certainly got a couple of big bodies. I'm looking at Jared Kohler as he comes in here. He's towering over everyone, almost ahead. He's going to set up at the back of the 18-yard box. Got quite a lot at the back of the 18-yard box, and they get the header. Lofted over the crossbar, though. Doesn't threaten from Harrison Scott, but promising from Northern Storm on that first set, Pete. Was well delivered.
Yeah, well delivered, little backspin ball inside, and like you said, big bodies there in the box in white. You just have to see how this game plays out. I'm sure they're going to be favouring the set pieces.
Yeah, I'll try and take those opportunities with a couple of big bodies. Their captain, another one of those, Campbell Breer. Yeah, the ball spills forward. It wasn't exactly the clean pass they were looking for, but a deflection sees it's going to come for another corner. And I'll look at that delivery again, and unsurprisingly, Kohler pushes up for this.
Well, both sides happy to play out from the back. I've just noticed Crutus Bay happy to play out down their left flank. Didn't pay off on that end, and we'll see Northern Storm again trying to find their big boys.
Driven in this one, not on target and broken up to the edge of the 18-yard box. Looking for options. They'll cross it in again. Prod it in. Unmarked man, but he can't get it on target. Ethan Andrews would love to have that again.
Yeah, some delivery there. Didn't get it right the first one off the corner, but the second one was a beauty. It's a little bit unfortunate there. You would have liked to have that opportunity again. Free header in the box. And positive start for Northern Storm.
Let's go.
Now, working forward again, Northern Storm. The Crutus Bay defence up to that. Strong collision. Both teams fighting. Bodies on the line. And we end up with Crutus Bay. Thought they had the throw in there, but we're going to come back. And we'll go to Northern Storm just over halfway. They'll go on the attack here. Another throw in for the Storm into the attacking third. Little step over, but couldn't turn and retrieve. Crutus Bay happy just to play it out here. Northern Storm turning up the pressure with territory. Let's wait for ball retrieval. Very obliging member of the public going and chasing after that one, Beards.
Yeah. Yeah, not the luxury of having the balls on the go at the moment, but...
prodded in, another deflection, a third corner.
We just mentioned territory is in Storm's favour at the moment. This will be the third set-piece corner on that far side this game already. We're only just beyond 5 minutes now. And these are the set pieces where the Storm look like I just mentioned, they have some big bodies there. There's definitely some targets to aim for.
Interesting setup when they've got the 5 runners coming from the back of the 18-yard box. Just one player inside the 18-yard box. Want to be hitting it with momentum. They go the short one. Chipped in, deflected away, not completely dealt with. Tried to thread the needle. Now it's cleared. He got a couple of shots there, did Campbell Breer, but couldn't put the polish on them that he needed.
Crutus Bay just soaking up some pressure at the moment. Again, all territory at the moment is with Northern Storm. Continue to push forward at the moment. Again, happy to see both sides playing through the lines and through the back. The ball's running true.
That's a cross. Newbury plays it wide, switches the point of attack down the line from Dove. Breer loses possession, and it's prodded forward now from Luke Muller. Ball goes across the line. And yeah, I was talking about when running through the team list. An interesting name popping up on this one for Crowders Bay United is Callum Garbutt, the number 24, who was the coach of Valentine at the start of the season in the NPL.
There you go. Let's put the boots on today.
Yeah, well, Crowders Bay obviously next door to Valentine, so playing it in his local community team, which is great to see him still involved after stepping away from the coaching job. Sometimes that love of football just doesn't go away, does it?
No, it doesn't. And you'd love to see that. Coaches to players, players to coaches, and it's good that he's out on the field today.
He is undoubtedly that nous and expertise at the centre of their defence will be a key piece and probably a big part of why their defence has been so strong this season. Good physical challenges here. Sose takes it away. Now it's pushed down the line. Teal with it. Feeds it into the box. Lena can't control. And we'll have a goal kick. Jackson McLeod to take it.
Yeah, good little tussle in the middle of the field there. Positive play from Storm again, playing through the lines.
Nice little touch on there. Good strong defence, but the Crabs win out. Now they feed it forward, try and thread the needle again. Doesn't work. Turnover, turns it straight back over. Jackson Sullivan feeds it wide. Muller. Side's just trying to find that organisation in midfield to set up the attack. Sullivan again. Ball turned over though, back to the Storm in white. They go forward through Dove. Under pressure. Feeds an optimistic through ball, but Lena won't have the pace to get that one. You see the, I don't know whether it's the magnitude of the occasion or what it might be, but there's a few nervy touches early here.
Yeah, definitely. But again, both sides feeling each other out, and you'd expect that on this stage.
Ball fed down. I thought the offside flag might have come up, but it's not going to matter anyway because the keeper took it cleanly in Mitchell and feeds it straight on. There's a missed pass. There's one of those nervy touches I was talking about. Yeah,
definitely a little bit loose, but there's intention from both clubs at the moment to move forward and play their brand of football, which is nice to see. We'll see if the Crabs can misplace pass there. They haven't had much joy in holding possession at the moment in these early stages.
No, they haven't. Well, they're making Storm work for it here. Kasose back. Ethan Andrews on the ball now. There's a couple of steps of space. Rolls it out wide for Newbury. He feeds a nice ball there, just behind instead of in front of the runner. It's the right idea. The execution again, not quite on. Good tracking back there from Ben Dove. Again, I think a few of the teams just trying to push that last pass, Butts.
Yeah, maybe pushing it too quick at the moment. Trying to find that killer pass within that 2 or 3, and they just need to put the ball on it, slow down. I think there's still plenty of boys on the field that probably haven't got their touches in at the start of the game to feel super confident.
Chip forward. Possession getting turned over quite a bit both ways early here. Strong pressure, I was going to say, from the defender, Kai Fauchon. Unsurprisingly, the referee right on the spot and calls a free kick in challenging range for a shot, but not impossible, Butts. It's kind of that spot where you're in two minds, aren't you?
Oh, I'm usually in one mind here, and it's going to go.
I was going to say, once it gets over that white line in the middle, you're probably in one mind, mate.
Yeah. No, it was good work from Ben Dove there, and he looks like he's going to stand over this one as well. Looks like he has eyes for goal.
He does have eyes for goal. Finds the back of the defender. Is he going to have another crack? Yes, he is. Gets it off the outside. Again, deflected. Spills. Not completely dealt with here. Lena on the ball. A little bit of tricky footwork. Shot taken. Easily dealt with by Jackson McLeod, though. Didn't have enough pepper on it to beat him.
Yeah, good football. Again, the free kick wasn't executed great, but that second phase play, plenty of confidence coming from the Northern Storm. And
it's a poor turnover. They get away with it. They appeal for handball. I think the referee's got that one right. They feed it to the right now. Dove feeds it in again. There's Garbutt heading it away. Now they feed it forward with, again, a pressured attempted return pass on the 1-2. They get away with it. Not sure that the ends will justify the means if you're Wayne Bailey. Now ranging forward. Kohler. He beats a couple, uses his stronger physique to come away with it, but eventually tried to take on one too many. I just feel there's a few players at the moment just overplaying their hand a little bit with nerves, excitement, somewhere in between.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a lot of turnovers at the moment. Both teams with positive intent. Try to release Tom Curran there. It's a tough task for Tom Curran today. It looks like he's the solo 9 up front, so the Crabs haven't had amazing territory at the moment, but it's a big ask with him as a lone soldier at the top to try and hold up that ball. He's not a massive body, and we know that the Storm have a couple of big bodies in the back line there.
It's going to be a big job for him today if they can find him. Interesting, though, we were talking in the intro about, for the Storm, Jyden Pike has been their leading scorer this season in the league, so I'm not sure if he might be carrying something because he's coming off the bench for them, so where they will find those goals coming from instead might be interesting. I think he's knocking on the door of double digits in the North Coast Premier League. That's a coach-killing turnover there and a shot taken off balance from Campbell Breer. He certainly hasn't been short of opportunities so far, the Northern Storm captain.
No, not at all. The Storm are, applying good pressure, and it's paying dividends at the moment. Cruder Space still being disciplined in playing out from the back, but it hasn't been working all that well for them. Way too many loose balls in their back third. We'll see how they approach this now.
Chip forward, looking for the head. Almost found mine instead. The joys of the synthetic here. We're right on pitch side. Maybe Boslin to take the throw. Appeals for a foul throw. He just like slipped out of his hands. Not sure why. There's no rain. Must be sweating too much.
Yeah, definitely.
He's,
referee said nothing doing there. Play on.
Yeah, play on. Community football. Keep the ball moving. Let the boys play. That's what we want to see. Now they come across Garbutt's there. Boslin screaming for the ball. I think you just want something, just a touch of the ball to get rid of that memory. Now, nice little touch on there. There's Curran, feeds it wide. Dagwell on the ball and goes over the sideline. It'll be a throw into the Storm. It's been an interesting exchange to open this one as these two teams find each other out and feel each other out. You feel so far, Butts, that the Storm on top. They've had a lot more opportunities at goal and a lot more territory.
Yeah, definitely. Set pieces and shots on target. Nothing too convincing thus far, but the Storm have definitely enjoyed more territory and ball possession.
Shot from range. Taken on the chest by Harrison Mitchell, who's calm and confident there. The shot stopper for the Storm. Pressure here in defence. McKinnon trying to apply that and almost a one-man press. And they go back to the keeper, and he had almost no involvement so far, Harrison Mitchell, and all of a sudden he gets a couple of touches back-to-back, and now Crowders Bay decided to turn the screws and push up in a defensive press. Opportunity here, then get a shot away. It's well off target, though. It was the right idea from McKinnon. Harrison Mitchell might be thinking twice about coming out after that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he just got a couple of early touches, or a couple of quick touches in quick succession, actually. But yeah, that's a reward for Cruders Bay in their press. We've seen both teams pressing high, both teams happy to play out from the back. Both teams probably haven't had that much success with doing so thus far.
Interesting there to see Kohler take the goal kick, but just play it out to his goalkeeper. A little bit of a bizarre one. I'm not sure the logic or reasoning behind it, but that's a nice ball down the line. Boslin now, chance to cross the ball in and just broken up. Not completely dealt with though. They move forward now. Good beats one. McKinnon. He's looking a little bit more dangerous as he builds into this game. That's a strong sliding tackle, but doesn't get the result. And unfortunately for him, he's hurt himself. A few bodies going down to the turf at the moment. We've still got one down for the men in pink, the Crabs. And his captain pulls it up. Chandra Bryant.
I think it might be Dagwell down at the moment.
He really threw himself into that challenge. He won the ball, but unfortunately he's come off second best. Which when two players come together at a rate of knots like that, it is sometimes unfortunately the outcome.
Who's impressed you in these opening exchanges?
Well, certainly the captain for Northern Storm, Campbell Breer, has created a few opportunities. We've seen some good runs out of defence for them as well that have set him up. But when we look at the other side, that man Daniel McKinnon, he got that shot before. It was a bit off target, but he looks like he's injected energy, and he looks like he could be the one that's going to push forward in the midfield and maybe create that link. You talked about it before with Tom Curran playing as that lone 9. He's going to need someone who's going to do the hard work and the hard yards to get forward, make some runs to try and create some opportunities for him to connect that midfield. And McKinnon so far looks like he might be that man. This is not a good sign for Dagwell. He's being nursed off. And we're going to see a change. Looks like it's going to be Harrison McLean coming on. It'll be Harrison McLean replacing Harry Dagwell. Forced change. Never ideal. But we hope there's nothing too serious for Harry Dagwell.
No, he doesn't look in a great way, unfortunately. He's getting carried off by two staff at the moment. He's just hobbling on that right knee. Again, hopefully nothing too sinister, but we just saw the introduction of Harrison McLean. We can see what he can do for the Crabs.
Certainly can. It's going to be an interesting one to see. Might be, a fresh look, fresh legs, or maybe just a calming presence after some mid-game instructions. Referee just waves away the Northern Storm player. Thought he'd come and challenge for the drop ball. And we get back underway. Callum Garbutt on the ball now. Comes wide. Boslam. Garbutt calls it back. Takes on one. Takes on a second. Turns it over. This is dangerous. Lena takes a shot. And he looks back at his boot and the turf. Very animated Craig Caruana, the coach from Northern Storm, after that opportunity. Again, it's obviously a duff shot, but here's another turnover. Ben Dove, little back heel, put forward for Lena. Can he get a strike away? He can. Straight on the chest of Jackson McLeod. He was composed and drives it forward over halfway immediately.
Yeah, wow. That's a big chance again. Two sloppy turnovers from both centre-backs we've just seen in a matter of minutes. Unfortunately, they continue, the Crabs, to play out from the back and continue to get punished. It's not long now until the Storm will capitalise on one of them.
Yeah, we've seen the Storm. They're happy to press a few numbers high, and I think that was probably the discontent from Craig Caruana, was the fact that they kind of ought to stop the few numbers that did go forward, then just watch Lena once he was going to have a shot rather than give him some other options. And here's another turnover.
Grant with some space.
He does have some space. Will he go himself or will he look for a teammate? He decides to strike himself. It's brought to ground from the deflection. Kohler did well to cover some space, and the Crabs will have a throw in very deep in attacking territory here, Crowders Bay. Yeah, another player down, sorry.
There is two. They're dropping like flies at the moment, Chris. It's positive play from the Crabs. Probably some territory at the moment that they haven't seen much of this game. And Grant found himself in plenty of space then. Probably looked like he was winding up for a shot 2 or 3 times there before he pulled the trigger.
We have the Storm trainer or physio out to have a look at the player. Hopefully nothing too serious. Again, sometimes it is, they're signalling for a change. So both teams are going to have their hand forced here. Levels things out a little. We were talking about it before, though. The impact sometimes, especially if you come off your feet and just the jarring of the synthetic, it doesn't have as much give as your standard turf, especially a lot of turf fields have a lot of give at the moment after all the rain we've had. They're nice and soft. It'll play true. The ball rolls really nicely on this for your passes along the ground, but otherwise it's it's got some, I guess, some drawbacks as well.
Yeah, for sure. On the body, that is. It's definitely a tougher surface. Tough on the joints. If the boys aren't familiar with this turf, they definitely know what it feels like now. The first 20 minutes would have just been rocking the boat a little bit. And unfortunately, it's not amazing in terms of those injuries. And we have number 2 coming off. And
yeah, so Harrison Scott will come off and Tom Sweeney will go on.
That's the one. We'll see Sweeney making his introduction into this game now.
Attempted long throw. That was a little better from Boslam. He still looks like he's having a bit of trouble gripping. He's looking at his hands. Hey, we need to get him some of that, some of the grippo that the rugby players use.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think you'd need that in football. But
Yeah, I agree.
I think they use it in lawn bowls as well. You know, equally as brutal sports. But anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, Boslam, that's 2 or 3 throws now. I'm questioning as a fullback, you're usually familiar with throwing the ball in, so we might need to get him some of that sticky spray at half time.
Yeah, well, I'll have a look. But in the meantime, Lino's electric. He slices through. Can't get through the sandwich of 2 defenders, though, and Boslam's the one that takes it away. Passing it around to the back there, and those Storm players are just sniffing around. Kohler now plays it out. Ethan Andrews. Sweeney gets his first touch. It's probably not one he'd love to watch back on replay. Now they push forward. Curran putting pressure on. Back pass to the keeper. Driven wide off target. That was a rush clearance in the end from Mitchell, but effective nonetheless. Boslam, let's see how he goes with this one. So it doesn't look like he really completely got that, but it was a little better.
Much better than the first 2 for me. We just see the Crabs just starting to get themselves back in this game now. It was all Storm the first 10 minutes or so. We're just starting to arm wrestle that territory back.
Garbutt, that diagonal ball forward. He's got a couple of numbers there. The defender, though, picks it off. Not completely cleared. Great opportunity. Shot taken by the captain just over the crossbar. That's probably the closest we've seen, certainly from Crowders Bay. Chandra Bryant's strike. Only just over the crossbar and was watched away by Harrison Mitchell.
Yeah, it's much better football from the Crabs. It started all the way at the back from Garbutt. Just that long switch ball out to the left. Second phase football, and it was a shot from the captain there, just outside of the 18-yard box. Positive signs.
Lofted through ball here. Oh, that was a high boot. No, the referee says it was okay. Wayne Bailey, the coach for Crowders Bay, a little aggrieved by the lack of a decision. It's always one of the interesting pieces of us here at the synthetics or any of the venues here at Lake Macquarie. As we, at the moment, with the structures, we are pitch side for the game, so you get a real insight into what's going on in the respective technical areas.
Yeah, I've really liked it this season. Pitch side, in and amongst the action.
Little nudge there from Marco Casose. Gives away a foul. Callum Garber's going to step up to take it. That pinpoint ball before led to that strike that was only millimetres away from target for them. They're trying to go forward and pick out a needle in a haystack with Curran there amongst a pack of white jerseys, and it nearly works out for them. But it's turned over in the end and prodded forward. Kohler now. And again, as we've seen these teams do quite a lot today, they exchange possession in midfield. A good ball. That looks like a real tactic from the boot of Garbutt. Now they push forward Crowders Bay, but again, a bit of a lone soldier. It plays out okay. McLean's there.
New substitute in McLean, just winning their side. It's the first corner for Crowders Bay. We'll see how they approach this and who they send up for this corner.
We've got numbers inside pushing the top of the 6-yard box. It's curled in tight towards the keeper. I think it was Kohler that got the head to it though. The keeper was coming out to punch it. Not completely dealt with. Opportunity here. Again, strike from the captain. This one much further off target from outside the box. He's certainly not afraid to let them fly. Is Chandra Bryant. Threaded down. Sweeney now under pressure. It's cleaned up, but the ball spills friendly for them to Lena. Sweeney again, feeds the ball, beats everyone though. A little bit of confusion though. Opportunity half presented there. Garbutt eventually tracks back to take it. Lays off for Boslam. Garbutt again tries to thread that ball over the top. Kohler does well tracking back. A little bit of confusion there between the midfielders. And all of a sudden there's a chance here for McLean. Feeds it into legs. Again, a friendly bounce for the Storm. They clear it towards halfway. Not completely dealt with. Lena comes across in defence. Gets a little boot in and it'll be a throw in. Muller to take it. Bereft of options, but there's plenty behind if he needs him. He's going to go long and forward. Gets it into the 18-yard box and it's cleared back. Dove feeds it forward. No runners there. Now it's with Garbutt for Crowders Bay. Sweeney tries to take him on. Bounces off him. Comes again. Still doesn't get any reward. And shepherding now on from Ethan Andrews for his keeper to come out and collect it. And again, they play it out despite the presence of a defender right there. Turned over again. It's a common story of today so far, Buttes. Teams turning the ball over in key areas, both defence and midfield.
Yeah, definitely. There's plenty of turnovers at the moment, and you'd have to say the Crabs, good chance here. He's earned inside another corner, but yeah, the Crabs are starting to itch their way into this game again now. Looks like they're getting more of a reward out of their press rather than we saw Storm at the start of the game.
Tell you what, if you're a neutral fan, it certainly offered an intriguing clash so far. And the opportunity here. McLean taking the corner, pops it in and beating everyone in the end, and it's just going to trickle away for what will be a throw in deep in defensive territory for the Northern Storm. If you are a neutral fan, you might have been tuning in hoping to see former A-League star out here today. Daniel McBreen signed with Crowders Bay earlier in the season, but not available today. Look, you know, I'm sure McAway might have saying it. He's not exactly at his prime, but it's only not that far removed from when he was plying his trade here in the NPL. So good to see him again, still getting out and having a bit of a kick.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to see that he's back on the field playing. He's obviously fit, and he loves the game as well. You know, he's had a spell at coaching, obviously playing, and had an awesome career. And it's just good to see that he's back playing with the Crabs, and hopefully we see him soon in the community football. He'd add so much to the side.
Certainly will, and maybe they'll try and hang on to him next year, because it looks like they're going to have that opportunity to look at Zone League 1 next year with the record they've had this year, but we'll see how that pans out. In the meantime, though, Northern Storm go on the attack. Lena, he's got some nice close footwork, but just overplays it a little. Now Bryant plays it forward, finds McKinnon. McKinnon looking for McLean. He's managed to beat one of the defenders who's been sniped there. Curran, does the flag stay down? It does. He's timed his run. No, it comes up late.
Tommy, hold that run, son.
All of a sudden looking much more dangerous are the Crabs, and James Teal down. I said it just looked like he was sniped. He kind of went to reach out for the ball, and quite innocuous, but he appears to be in some significant discomfort. He's going to try and get himself back to his feet, but having trouble even doing that. Not great. We've already seen 2 force changes, 1 each for the sides.
Yeah, he's been good so far, James Teal, as well, in the middle of the field. He's had good footwork, very nippy. He's been one of the live wires for Storm in this opening half.
He and Lena, the man who's standing there looking at him and checking on him, the 9, have both been very dangerous. Happy to work with the ball in close quarters and got some great agility and acceleration. The good news is he's back to his feet. The bad news is he is hobbling significantly. He's starting to hobble, looks like it's easing a touch, but yeah, we'll wait and see what the verdict is here. No immediate presence of change. Comment from the bench there was that he should be fine, so that's positive if you're a Storm fan, but again, we'll watch and see.
Again, just a forced error. They're starting to creep in now for Storm. Unnecessary. Crudis Bay just tightening the screws.
Lobbed for, that's optimistic, I would suggest, from Boslam. Mitchell drives it. Sweeney looking for it. Boslam gets a boot in. Now directed forward. That's a nice ball. Finds a target again. Flag's going up for offside though. Some animated protestations from the Crowders Bay bench, and the 4 official's just going to go and have a little chat with them to cool their jets, I think. Wonderful afternoon of football here at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Not only this wonderful community plate clash, but we'll have the State Cup final later on between Cooks Hill United and Western Bears. Looking forward to that from 3 p.m. You can catch that again live and free on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel. This is a nice little bit of play here. Dove fighting hard to get around and then decides that he wasn't loving it, so went for the rugby tackle.
Resulted in the rugby tackle, but it's a good battle. The weight's definitely swung in the Crabs' favour, I'd say, over these last 15 minutes or so. And one thing I've noticed, Chris, is the Storm actually are pressing with 2 men. So early in the game, I thought the Crabs were trying to overplay their hand a little bit, trying to play in tight quarters, and were having no success. They're starting to look a little bit more direct. Starting to hit those flanks with the new sub, number 10, out on the left. And also out on this right side with Grant. You just see that there as well. Not taking any more risks now playing out.
Certainly adjusted the tactic, as you say, and yeah, we've seen a couple of balls delivered by the likes of Callum Garbutt have been quite direct and on the money, which is a good luxury to have when you're playing in what is essentially the 4th tier of Northern New South Wales football. As this one goes back to the keeper, he prods it out to Ethan Andrews. He's going to take it on the outside, meets some strong resistance, turns it over again. Good work from Grant. Boslam crossing it in, looking for Curran in the box, but as you touched on earlier, Butts, he's a lone soldier. Brunier feeds it forward. Out in front. That man Teal, he's made a miraculous recovery, back to full pace running, which is great to see. Chandra Bryant feeds it wide. Boslam. He's got space and time. He's going to thread it down the line, but there's no one there and certainly no one that wide. It'll cross the sideline and it'll be a throw in defensive territory for the Northern Storm.
Yeah, poor execution there from Boslam, and we just mentioned it, the man up front. He seems a little bit frustrated at the moment. Feels like he has to do everything all on his own. He needs numbers around him.
Fed in now, cross wide. That's it. An acrobatic attempt to break it up. It didn't quite work. The next one did, though. Good stoic defending there from Muller. Took it away and shut it down when it was a dangerous chance. That's a tidy ball. I think he surprised himself there when he got that one on the head there, McLean. I think he was looking for it on the boot.
Brilliant touch nonetheless.
All's good that all's well that ends well, isn't it? I'm sure he'll love the fact that that was caught on camera. The boys will play that back to him ad nauseum later in his later in the season and later in his career, undoubtedly. That one's poked across the line from Teal. So that was Lena that poked it across the line, and now Curtis Bago with the long throw.
McKinnon in the middle has been more active for the Crabs. He's had a couple of positive touches. He's on the ball again now.
Get another throw.
Yeah, he's really come into this half.
The forward-minded midfield you talked about, McLean, Grant, and also McKinnon, they've all looked a lot more active over the last 15 or so minutes. As Breer comes away with it for Northern Storm. Sweeney plays it wide. Lena just gets out-bodied there. Here's a pocket rocket, and that's the challenge, I guess. That's the counter of the agility and the speed and the close touch work is you're generally going to be outsized. Sweeney lays it off for that man again, Lena. Under pressure. Gets sandwiched and ends up on the deck. They take a shot from range. Again, I've used this word a couple of times today for a few of the shots from both sides. Optimistic.
Yeah, very optimistic. I thought he had some better options there, left and right. Eyes lit up a little bit, and McKinnon's got to be careful here.
Got away with that one, didn't he? Boslam hoofs it forward. Hit and hope, you feel. Kohler underneath it. Kasase comes away. It squirts wide to Teal. I'd probably like to see a little bit more from Kasose. He's been a little quiet so far. It looks like he's got reasonable touch and physicality when he does get a hold of the ball.
Yeah, he's been the rough of it thus far. The battle in the middle of the field's been quite contentious. I wouldn't say either side's really been dominating in that space.
Garrett with some nice touch to the outside, threads the ball in, looking for Curran. That wasn't the certainly wasn't the worst, just a little overcooked, but Curran wasn't far away from that, and they're going to have to pay attention here, Northern Storm.
Maybe on a grass pitch, that might have been a kind of bounce, Chris.
Yeah, you feel, especially with, as we touched on before, a lot of softer pitches at the moment, that probably would have held up, maybe not run on as much as it does here on the synthetic, but we are on the synthetic, so, you know, ifs and buts. We head forward. Ethan Andrews doesn't quite clear it. Again, the clearances out of defence have been far from clinical for both sides and created undue pressure. There's that man Kasose that we asked for a little bit more from, and he shows a nice ball. That's a wonderful ball out in front of Sweeney, thanks to Newbury, but Sweeney's going to have work to do to get the ball fed in. Decides to switch it right across. Teal there. He's got Breer around the outside. The captain. Can he come up with a cross? Feeds it in, but just undercooks it. Crowder's Bay, the Crabs will take it away. McLean with it. Tries to feed it down the line. A little too wide, though, and it'll be a throw in just over halfway for the Storm.
Yeah, good positive play there from the Storm. They haven't had much field possession these last couple of exchanges, but he asked a little bit more from that man Kasose. I think if he can get the ball and get it out in wide areas, they have some tidy players, the Storm do, that I think could really exploit the wide areas.
I agree. They've certainly got some pace and movement out there, and they've threaded some decent balls. Interesting to see, like, the momentum swung a couple of ways so far this half, and as we head into the last 5 or 6 minutes of this first half, certainly going to be interesting to see if someone can just snatch that bit of momentum. And we see it sometimes as fatigue starts to creep in these games, that one little mistake can be costly.
Yeah, no errors thus far have really been capitalised on. The game's 0-0 at the moment, but there has been quite a few from both sides.
Goes long and finds Boots. McLean was there. He had it on his boot, but back to goal. Couldn't execute on an option. Sweeney here, just using his presence over the ball. Nice little back heel looking for Kasose. Crowder's Bay turn it over. Grant now feeds it centrally. Looking for options. McKinnon. They push around the outside, but again, James Teal's there, just breaks up the advancing play. Muller with the throw. Lofted into the area. Grant looking for the 1-2. Curran just overruns.
Yeah, good hold-up play from Curran there. Again, not a massive body, but if they can find the ball to his feet or chest, we just saw he can dish it off and look for that 1-2.
Certainly can. Driven forward by McLeod. Curran, as you said, just undersized and a little underpowered in that battle against Kohler. Grant does well. Gets his body in the way. The boot on a boot there. Come off second best, Jackson Sullivan. That was a clumsy at best challenge from Ethan Andrews. Just a little rush of blood.
Yeah, just trying to resurrect a couple of errors there. It's probably a bit fortunate that Card stayed in the pocket. Referees adjudicated this game very well thus far. It's been a healthy competition.
I was going to say, there's been plenty of physicality, but he's let it play quite a bit. Garbutt almost finds target sweeping around in McLean at the back. That one's adjudged a high boot.
You'd have to say, Chris, if the Crabs can get the ball over Kohler at the back, they're half a chance. That's the one body that you want to try and beat on the long ball. He's a massive figure at the back there for Storm, and he has won most exchanges and headers this game. But as you just saw, if it just gets over Kohler, they've got plenty of boys who are eager and running in the back.
Yeah, I feel both he and Hodges have been solid there. But again, as you said, they've got numbers pushing up and running around, sweeping, especially on that left flank. They can get the ball in behind. They'll have numbers advancing. Grant, he has hustled hard and tussled hard so far today. Now we're going to come back and the referee's going to say you hustled and tussled a little bit too hard. Kohler feeds it wide. Newbury's there. Takes it in for Lena. Newbury's there again. It's a return ball. Feeds it inside. A little bit acrobatic, and Sweeney manages to turn it around, but he turns it over. Sliding tackle from Breer. Sends it across the sideline. Thrown from Curran. Moving forward, I'm not quite sure who that was intended for, but I think it's going to race away and beat everyone, and it does across the byline.
Just get it up and out of our half, he says. There's a bit of a reset at the moment. There's only a couple of minutes, I'm assuming, left in this one, Chris. And again, an arm wrestle. There's been plenty of battles across the pitch. Plenty of tussles, all in good spirit, but it hasn't been the cleanest game, you'd have to say, thus far.
It hasn't. Sweeney with the ball now. Head towards the final couple of minutes of regulation time here. Little clip there, and we're going to have another foul adjudged.
Come on, let's go, switch on.
Opportunity here. So we've got the long and the short of it there, but with Kohler and Lena both over the ball, but Kohler stepped away. It's going to be Lena. You talked about it before. Beauty, this is you over the ball. Obviously, you're going for goal. What's Lena going to do here?
Same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, why not?
Why not?
I feel like at this level too, you're probably going to see more of that as Curran taps it forward for himself, gets to the outside, can't quite get the run. Back pass does enough. Curran pushes himself forward and Northern Storm will escape with a goal kick.
Yeah, it looked like Curran was just in a little bit of space there down the left flank. Bit of a transition moment, but...
Hodges did well there just to not give him a lane around the outside. Made himself big, made it hard for him to get around.
Yeah, great defensive work from Hodges. Kohler in some space.
Newbury screaming for the ball. Garbutt's going to break it up though, does well. Sullivan prods it forward. McLean prods it back. And they switch the point of attack. McKinnon's there. Threaded forward, looking for Grant. 5 minutes of added time. We have had quite a few stoppages for injury, so not overly surprising, but does leave quite a bit of time for twists and turns before the break. Bryant just lays it off. Muller feeds it down the line. So you can see he's clipped there, and Marco Casose is going to have to be careful. That's the second time he's drawn the referee's attention already. And as you touched on before, there hasn't been a lot of people drawing the referee's attention overall.
It's been quite well adjudicated, I'd say, and it has been a good battle everywhere across the field. Plenty of tussles, like I said. All in good spirit. Expect a good ball in here.
Garbutt feeds it in, the header. Scrap at the back, and it's prodded home. It wasn't clinical, it wasn't the cleanest, but it counts as saying the substitute, Harrison McLean, gets himself on the score sheet in stoppage time of the first half, and Crowders Bay have the advantage here in the Community Plate final.
Yeah, super sub. Harry McLean scores 1-0 for Crowders Bay, and the Crabs are absolutely buzzing with that one. Just that we head into additional time. It was a great ball in from, I think it was Callum Garbutt, right? Exceptional ball. He's done a couple of those with his right foot through this game. He had it on the set piece there and put it right in the danger zone. It's 1-0 to the Crabs.
Yeah, great work from McLean. I think he was the one that got up to meet it first, and then it scrapped down, it spilled around awkwardly, and as a good poacher does, just got the boot forward and prodded it into the back of the net. That was a sloppy challenge from the captain for Crowders Bay, and all of a sudden Northern Storm a quick chance to respond here.
Yeah, very similar field position and setup for the free kick, and I just have to say for that goal as well, it's really tough areas for Harrison Mitchell there. He's not the largest keeper, tallest keeper. So as soon as you crowd that space, you find it very difficult.
Sweeney over the dead ball here, drives it in. Almost an ankle breaker, that one. We've got an offside flag up on the set piece. That's a cardinal sin. Not that the attack had really developed any after the set piece, but it's the one thing. I mean, it's what you're always looking for as a defender, is someone to jump the gun a little bit, right? But as an attacker, you've got to be better than that.
Yeah, I agree. Sweeney, again, we've seen Storm on those set pieces. Every single player that's had a free kick in that similar position has gone for the strike. Sweeney just looking to go low and hard near post. I think they've got tall timber, Chris. I'm surprised why they don't put in more balls into that kind of 6-yard box. Test the back line of the Crabs.
Yeah, especially the likes of Cole, as I said before, he towers over everyone on this field, and he's got plenty of frame about him to be a physical presence as well and hold his space.
And there's that direct ball again out to the left.
The header doesn't work out for them. The goal scorer, McLean, now on it. He had a man with him there in McKinnon if he could find the target, but he's trying to do it all himself. Harry McLean manages to keep the ball in, gets a deflection. Lena, an air swing. Grant back there. Muller. Lena hassling and hustling against him in defence. The ball falls to the top of the 18-yard box. Jenna Bryant. Kasose just does well to get his body in the way of a wind-up shot from the Crowders Bay captain. Threaded through. Picked off. Misdirected from McKinnon. Now all of a sudden Breer, he's free. Lays off to Teal. Wide to Cola, who's drifted out into a wider channel. Newbury beats 1, beats 2, dispossessed by the 3rd. Ball falls for Kasose, and he goes forward now, looking for Breer. He's going to have to try and run around and clean it up. Garbutt just clears it down the line. So that's Muller. Drive it all the way back to their keeper from Teal. Cola. Ethan Andrews.
Crabs happy to just sit in a block at the moment, try and see out this half. Storm trying to find answers to break them down.
You certainly can understand that from the Crabs. Just try and go to the break with a 1-goal lead, but sometimes when you sit on your heels, it can be a cardinal sin as Breer sniffs around here. That's a heavy challenge. And again, the referee right on the spot. The referee says that will do us for the first half. And the Crabs have got the jump early here on the Storm. Both sides have had their opportunities to dictate tempo and have momentum at different points, but it is that 1 goal in stoppage time thanks to Harry McLean that sees the Crabs head to the halftime break here in the Community Plate final, up by 1 goal. Only 1-0 over the Northern Storm. We'll take a short break from Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility and we'll rejoin you in about 10 minutes with second half that promises many twists and turns as the Community Plate is determined here for Northern New South Wales football.
I thought you were saying mention the crowd.
Yeah, I realised it was fucking pointless. I just gave up.
What was the second one?
Oh, because the first one was like,
What was this one?
Line stuck my head. Horrible. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, I know. I saw that you were fucking easily confused.
Crew space.
Hey, crowd.
Oh, it is crowd space.
So it's like crowd.
Oh,
so crowd
I've been
eight.
saying crew space.
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah.
Is this Resi?
Yeah.
Fair few turnovers, eh?
Yeah, I get some. Yeah, maybe you got to remember too. Like, it probably is equivalent to fourth year versus fourth year.
Yeah. But to be fair, actually,
That's actually what felt nice. That's almost got fucking stuff in mind.
that's
Oh, Garbutt, yeah.
he's He looks good.
And like, because the peninsula goalkeepers got saves at penalty prior, and the other couple really good really got saves. So, and he spent like 20 minutes with him just talking to him, and like, fully unwise like, yeah, because like, it wasn't he wasn't like straight up and like, hey, I was with you, like, all I'm sort of easy with when I was
I mean, sorry, good bloke. Good bloke, yeah.
You want to do the intro, come back in? And use your weather the storm?
Yeah, sure. Have you got something scripted or?
Nah, I haven't got anything, mate. Normally half time I sort of welcome everyone back, reintroduce it, and
Yeah.
sort of sum up what happened in the first half and lead in, and then throw to me if you want. And
Welcome back to Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility, where we have the community plate underway. 1-0 to the Crabs. It's been an enthralling encounter thus far. A goal to the 4 substitute, Harrison McLean, coming late in that first half from a set piece. And the Crabs didn't start the best, Chris, but they weathered the storm and come back into the game, securing that goal late in the first half. And it's been a good tussle thus far. Both teams in the battle, good arm wrestle, no cards thus far, but it makes for a very exciting second half. Who do you think was the best on pitch for the Storm and the Crabs?
well, first of all, I like what you did there, Beards. Weather the storm. It works on so many fronts today. We've got the grey clouds hanging over behind us. They've got the northern storm, and as you said, the Crabs have weathered the northern storm, and very much so early. The Storm had the advantage. There's been a lot of players in glimpses. I think we talked about this during the break. There's a lot of these players, if they can find a consistent 45 minutes of football from 1 or 2 players in either side, that side will come out on top, I think, here. But, yeah, certainly really impressed the captain, Campbell Breer, for Northern Storm. Consistent, working hard throughout. I liked what I saw a couple of times from Jared Kohler. Really strong in defence. It's just going to be about whether he can continue to maintain that over 90 minutes. Obviously, Harry McLean was Johnny on the spot there. We've seen some really good stuff from Alex Green as well. I think he probably is a little over-enthusiastic at times when he's tracking back after a turnover, but energetic, good touch, and happy to get physical. What I know is we've got 45 minutes with some silverware on the line. 1 goal might not be enough. There's going to be plenty of twists from here, I think, Butts.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is far from over. It was a really enthralling contest the first half. Good battle across the field, and I think it's going to start the same way it finished. High energy, high intensity, and a competitive arm wrestle. And again, the Crabs getting that goal late was so crucial. And it was putting pressure under Mitchell from a set piece, which paid dividends ultimately. I'd like to see the Storm this half try to get back to how they started that first half and just play a little bit more through the lines. They started to adopt a bit more of a transition style gameplay, which probably wasn't working as great as they would have hoped.
No, exactly. It was interesting. We were chatting to the man we talked about before, Daniel McBreen, at half time, and he was saying that the Crabs are certainly no stranger to late goals in some recent games. They've managed to score late to take and seal 3 points. So that probably speaks to the fact that the tanks are probably pretty solid, and it certainly looked like Northern Storm were flagging a little bit late in that half. So it'll be interesting to see who can maintain the best, and especially if the sun does come out a little bit here, it's going to warm up as Muller goes down the outside, gets to the edge of the 18-yard box, and just realised he didn't really have a line and sight on a player, so just played it into the legs and took the corner.
Yeah, first set piece of the second half. Good work down the left flank from Muller. And like you said, we did weather the storm a little bit, but it's starting to clear up at the moment here at Lake Macquarie.
Touch wood. Last time I said that, I was standing just on the other side of this filming platform with Tara Andrews, talking about what a wonderful night it was, and then all of a sudden it started raining almost immediately. So hopefully you're a better meteorologist than I am, Butts. Time will tell that. In the meantime, though, Crowders Bay could have a chance to bookend the halftime break with a second goal. Set up for the corner here. Strike it into a dangerous area. They're up. Lots of players going for it. Plenty missed it. Prodded through. Bryant tries to get it. Curran tries to get acrobatic and aerial. McLean looks to add to a second, but scuffs it to the outside, and it'll spill out for a throw in. The threat not completely dealt with.
Yeah, anywhere's good enough there for Ethan Andrews and the Storm, and a little bit of early.
Yeah, they're throwing to the box and it beats everyone. The Storm happy to watch it across.
Well done. Good start. Let's go.
Yeah, early drama in the box. Nothing eventuated, and the Storm happy to play out from the back as they have done all day thus far.
Well, we've had a great sort of almost 50 minutes of football so far. We've got plenty more to come here, and if this isn't enough for you watching this enthralling community plate decided, don't forget we've got the State Cup coming to you live and free on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel from 3 p.m. as Western takes on Cooks Hill. Remembering that's a Cooks Hill side absolutely with momentum at the moment after they qualify for the last 16 Australia Cup. As Curran gets a little shot away, but the flag goes up. But that was some good goalkeeping. Harrison Mitchell, not the biggest keeper, made himself look big though and managed to shut down the angles.
Yeah, that'll give Harrison Mitchell, regardless of the offside, that'll give him much confidence heading into the remainder of this half. And Curran just sniffing on the edge of Kohler there. Just got caught offside, but it was not far off.
Certainly not. Here's a good challenge there from Kai Fauchon. Hasn't had a whole heap to do today, Kai Fauchon.
Back in, Zach. Back in. Come on, get up. We need you here, not here. Come on. Get up there.
You'd have to think Sweeney's the body to aim for now for Storm. Just on the edge of the 18.
Driven forward.
Oh, there we go.
Sweeney and Brea look the likely targets. Kohler prods forward. He's left them exposed at the back though. Curran feeds it out wide. There's that man I was talking about at the break, Grant. Getting forward. He pulls back though when he realises he doesn't have the pace to beat Newbury. Pops it into McKinnon. He feeds it wide. Muller takes on. Nice little touch to the outside. Second touch might have been a bit much, but manages to maintain possession. Brea comes in to help out. And he plays it back to the captain in Bryant. Clumsy attempt in defence, and they work it on. Bryant now, will he wind up? He's done that a couple of times. He's got pressure behind him. He beats two, can't beat Kohler. But again, not completely cleared. The Crabs continue to press forward. Fauchon, Garbutt. Boslam goes around. Kohler's there to clean up again as he has been for most of the day, and clears it well outside the playing area into the car park.
Yeah, the Crabs look like they're starting this half the way they finished the first. Early territory, early ball possession in their favour. They'd love to push for a second early.
It's one of those ones, it's the old football cliche, isn't it? You know, the next goal's so crucial, but you feel here with the fatigue we saw in the end of the first half, from Northern Storm, if the Crabs did grab an early one here, it would be quite a way back and could actually open up to being sealed by a bit of a margin. Muller prods it into the box with hope. Curran trying to hustle strongly there, take it away. Now they work it out of their half. Dove driven off the ball. Bryant comes flying through and shuts it down. Interesting there just to see Chandra Bryant ask the question to the bench. Maybe a rotation. Got a pretty swift response from a couple of his teammates who told him he'd be fine and to get on with it. Obviously both teams put a lot into that first half. They know what's on the line. And it's going to be interesting because there will be limited rotations because both had forced changes in the first half. Forced change did work out quite well as Lena hustling Garbutt. Driven long now from McLeod. Kohler's there again. The significant presence in defence. Dove hassled in close quarters, hassled a little too much. The nudge from Fauchon. That's a second foul from Fauchon in this half.
Yeah, Dove just pleading with the referee. Why is that not a card? His teammates just telling him to calm down. Look at the position we're in.
Take the win, right? Take the win. You've got the foul.
Yeah, in shooting range as well. I know we've said that a couple of times on the free kicks, but this is a really good opportunity for Storm to edge their way back into this game. You'd have to say Sweeney's going to line up.
I think so, although I'm starting to question you with shooting range. You said basically every free kick shooting range, Buttes. He doesn't get a lot of air on it, though. He's happy to try and penetrate along the ground. Crowders Bay club it long. But hey, I'll tell you what, doesn't matter where you take it from. If it ends up in the back of the net, it's going to be enthralling if it's, you know, a set piece. And have everyone on the edge of their seat. And some animation here from both sides.
Dove again winning that free kick for his side, and yeah, the bench liked that one as well.
So the referee's pointing to a few different players, quietening them down, trying to calm players down now, including having a chat to Boslam, but players are going to have to be careful here, because what we might end up seeing is, despite the physical nature of the game, the first card might come out from what they endeavour to be constructive criticism to the referee, but he might not perceive that way. We see that often.
Yes, we do.
So keep your jets cool, lads. The last thing you want to be doing is picking up a card for that at this point.
Hey, Benny, here.
Again, probably disappointing set piece there from Sweeney. Nothing doing, not getting it in the right area. Ultimately out for a goal kick.
Garbutt drives it forward. Kohler meets it. Beats the leap of Dove. Pushed wide. Lena now. Looking to thread it through. Comes away. Not completely cleared again. And pushed wide. Till does well.
Yeah, good one-on-one defending there from Muller.
So he might have sold the foul a little bit, but again, that's part of the gamesmanship of our wonderful sport.
He went down quite easy for a big boy, but it was a foul in the referee's eyes.
Yeah, look, I think it was a foul. He's being held. I think he might have just added a little bit of mayo to it. But as I said, that's part of the gamesmanship. Nothing wrong with that. Just making sure you get the decision that you need. Garbutt goes long again and again. That man in Kohler meets it. Two captains go toe-to-toe. The 8, Bryant and Breer. Bryant comes out on top, and
McKinnon with some space out wide. Just got away from him here.
Boslam's going to drive it in there. Now Bryant, I thought he was going to wind up there.
He's had a couple today.
Grant now. He's got a bit of space. Can he cross it in? Pulls it back. Pulls the trigger to the top of the 18-yard box. McKinnon shut down and taken away. Fed wide now, Sweeney, and now they're ranging forward in numbers. Prods it out in front of Kasose. Tries to slice between, but Garbutt just comes across calmly and takes it from him. Garbutt hit after the fact. The referee says no, play on.
Oh,
Fed
tidy.
in the box, Breer, wide of the goals.
Well, that would have been interesting if that progressed to anything. Looked to be a foul on Garbutt. But referee said nothing doing, and it was a quick 1-2 play down the left side. Dove with a little flick pass out the back.
It's a nice touch.
It was nice.
To be fair, the assistant referee was right there, and they've been exemplary so far, the officials today, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on that one. We are quite a distance from it and don't have the benefit of any elevation. Now Breer, he's starting to look dangerous, the captain. He's injecting himself more and more. Cuts to the byline side, feeds it along the ground. Dove got a bit of a strike on it, but didn't get as much as he might have liked. Lena now feeds it in. Well taken by McLeod.
Yeah, it's a good strike from range from Lena, and the Storm are starting to crawl themselves back into this game. Looking really positive.
McLeod gets underneath this one. Probably would have liked to get through it a little more. Prodded forward. Muller lobs it forward. Curran spills it wide. McLean, you can see what he's trying to do there to find Grant, but well offline, and it's picked off by Andrews. Tell you what, it's getting willing out there. Plenty of players throwing their bodies in over the ball. This one out in front of Curran. He's going to have a chance here to chip the keeper. And just wide to the left. My goodness, I thought he'd done it then. I thought he'd doubled the lead. Mitchell's out of his line. And he's managed to dodge a bullet there.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity there to extend their lead, and it's only whiskers away, just outside of that left post. And Curran's had 1 or 2 great opportunities now where he's just fallen short. Mitchell again caught in no man's land, unfortunately. It was not far off, Chris.
Certainly not. You don't want to give them too many chances like that. Storm defending physically now. They put it out in front of the goal scorer in McLean. He's got Curran in the box if he can find him. Well defended there by Odgers. Still working. They play it back to Bryant. Bryant cuts inside. Prods it away, but well taken by Sweeney. Mullet happy to push it across the line. Gets a little nudge. And a change for the Northern Storm. Newberry coming off. Another Sweeney coming on, this time Nicholas. Teal with the throw. Muller wins out. Duff comes again though. He made plenty of size, but he keeps fighting.
He's been busy.
Tom Sweeney feeds it down. Dove plays it into the back of the defender. That's smart football, and they'll get a corner here. The set pieces early in the first half were positive and not far away. What can they conjure here?
Yeah, the coaching staff for Storm and the bench happy to see Dove's introduction in the second half thus far.
Go for the short. Breer feeds it in. Pushed wide now. Driven long by Bryant towards halfway. One-on-one battle. Curran does well. Cuts back across. The pass just a little too heavy, and Odgers had to be there. Made the right decision and cleared it away. And now we go from a corner at the southern end to a corner at the northern end.
Yeah, it's been a bit like that, back and forth, this game thus far. It's been very entertaining, and that was a crucial intervention from Odgers. Made sure that he got a toe onto that one. Anywhere was good enough, because they looked like they were getting away with one there. Crudis Bay.
He's in a tough spot there with the two attackers running at him, and they had him at 6s and 7s. He managed to recover and did well, Odgers, in the end. McKinnon with the corner. Floats it in to the back post. Garbutt arrived untouched, unmatched and unwatched. But a fortunate result in the end, and Garbutt then gives away a foul.
Yeah. Great ball in there from McKinnon at the back stick, and there was no one following that late runner in from Garbutt. Just got cleared off the line, and Storm had no idea where that one come from. Again, probably dodging a bullet again.
Sweeney on. Teal gets around Muller. There's that man in Garbutt, clears it down. Again to another Sweeney, this time Tom. Gets the ball there. Very physical challenge, and nutmegs Bryant. Sorry, Grant. This time comes in. This time the referee will go to his pocket. He was physical the first one. He got full of confidence and overcommitted on the second.
Yeah. Yeah, had a bit of everything then, Sweeney. Really heavy challenge that first one, but a great challenge. Sweet little nutmeg, and then just did a little bit too much.
Yeah, sometimes the exuberance can just, you get a little bit too confident in your own ability sometimes, and he acknowledged that pretty quickly and just said, yeah, that's fair. Yellow card, I'll wear that one. It's an interesting game, though, sometimes, isn't it? Because even that sort of physical challenge, if you're, coming towards a contested ball with a guy who you know is going to come in with that sort of intent, it can sometimes just make you hesitate. Sometimes it can play in, so sometimes the yellow card, not the worst thing to wear there. He's just got to be cautious now.
Again, the Crabs elect to go long, which has seemed to work for the majority of this game. I spoke to you earlier, Chris. They started the game a little bit shaky. They were trying to play it out way too much, play through their back third, and had no success. They've elected to go long, and they've definitely found more success in doing so.
Right, half winds up, just skies this one. McLean. Kohler gets it. Curran wide to Muller, feeds it back in. Referee does well there. He was the most acrobatic of everyone on the field. Kazose now fighting with McKinnon. McKinnon prods wide. Boslam feeds it in, but it's seen away by Kohler again. And now on the attack goes Nick Sweeney. And Callum Garbutt again. Callum Garbutt's going to be very careful here.
The Crabs faithful not happy with that decision.
Garbutt up for it again. Nick Sweeney. Bryant.
It's definitely getting a little bit more vocal on that far side. We love to see it, Chris.
Just a bit of crowd involvement. It means quite a bit to these two clubs to have an opportunity at silverware at the highest of levels for the community clubs in the region. They used to have been through their progress in the Australia Cup qualifying rounds. Adjudged as the two best sides from community football in northern New South Wales, which in itself is something, but it's that piece of silverware that means so much at the end. Here's Grant. Managed to bust through two defenders, but turns it over. Now Dove. Sosay coming in against Bryant. Challenges are becoming even more intense. Sosay again. Dove feeds it across. Breers, Dove finds one in behind in Sweeney. The defender sandwich him. Appeals for a penalty from the Northern Storm. The referee says no, waves away those appeals, and straight away Crowners Bay go on the attack.
Sweeney just peeling off the shoulder of the centre-back there, and he's been good since he's come on, Nick Sweeney.
Curran feeds it to McKinnon, a chance here at the other end. Curran out wide. Up against Kasose, beats him back on the inside, takes a strike. Little spill there, but he does well to clean it up, Harrison Mitchell. It's end-to-end at the moment.
It is end-to-end. Positive save from Mitchell there again. That would have been great for his confidence. And a good release out there to Dove. He's been busy this half.
Just tried to find the needle in the haystack, feeding it forward to Sweeney. He just wasn't ready for it. Challenge there, play on. Interesting there, Ethan Andrews even pulled up, but the referee happy to let a little bit go both ways, which is, at the end of the day, the crowd's here to see these two teams battle it out for the silverware. Fauchon feeds it forward.
It's been a good battle all day today, McKinnon and Kisosa.
Has ball threaded forward. Is the flag going to stay down for Curran? No, it's not. Goes up, and unsurprisingly, the crowd not happy with that. It's a very healthy Pro Crabs crowd over there on the far side from the camera. Not surprising with their proximity here. You know, they're only about 10 minutes around the shore of the Lake Macquarie from Spears Point. They dominate the crowd. Now Breer feeds it forward. Dove fighting hard. Bryant dispossessed. Dove looks to feed it forward again, looking for Andrews, who's pushed up. Oslam fighting. Managed to maintain possession. Plays for the foul. Doesn't get it. Lena. Breer. Back down, looking for Sweeney.
And the coaching staff for Storm happy with what they see there. Positive signs. I think the introduction of Nick Sweeney's been... He's been a live wire since he's come on. I think
both of Sweeney's impacts has been good when they've come on, isn't it? Yeah.
Just offer a different dynamic.
I didn't like there. We just heard Wayne Bailey just admonish his troops. They're looking for fouls, and at times pulling up. And he said, look, he's not calling a lot of things, and that's fair. The referee is allowing both sides to play. And again, we talk about this most weeks. It's one of the first things you learn as a young footballer is to play the whistle. Sosay comes away with the header. Bryant under pressure. Sweeney comes in firmly. Dove for Sean. Feeds it back to Dove. Puts it out in front of Sweeney. Garbutt looks to clear it away. It falls friendly for Sweeney. He can only prod it though. Almost a mix-up though at the back. My goodness. Matthew Boslam came screaming across, and his keeper had to tell him to get the hell out of there, and turned out okay in the end, but wasn't through great management.
Sweeney, I think, would have liked to have that one back. Might have been a little bit of an air swing as well, but again, he's looking more and more convincing.
This
really has been end-to-end stuff today.
Klein gets to the outside. Shouldered off the ball. I don't know if he's going to say it was shoulder to chest, which is exactly what it looked like. He didn't go for the ball.
The door is opening, it's coming. The instructions from the boss for Storm. And I'd have to say I agree.
Nick Sweeney looks like he's got them at 6s and 7s here at the moment when he goes forward. It's going to be an interesting set piece here. Almost in line with the top of the 18-yard box, just a little closer to goal, and then maybe a few metres outside of the 18-yard box. One thing that's going to challenge both these sides is this is being played under cloudy skies, and the sun's just come out, so the temperature is going to increase, not just in terms of the contest, but in terms of the weather. Driven in. Dove comes flying across, brought down, shot taken, spills through. Another shot over the crossbar. I thought Alex Grant had found the postage stamp there, but just went over the crossbar. And another bullet dodged for the Northern Storm and their keeper in Harrison Mitchell.
Yeah, good shot there from Grant, just whispering over the top of the bar. He struck it with some venom as well. Good shape. Fell nice to him, and yeah, they're getting close as well with their handful of quality chances, I'd say.
Sean looking for a foul there, but the referee just realising that he lost out in a physical contest. Muller and Sweeney come throwing in. Tell you what, the two Sweeneys, neither of them are shy about throwing their body into these challenges. That'll be another foul. Body's just flying at the moment.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey this game thus far. I think most players have been in the tussle. Again, the referees adjudicated this brilliantly, and it has been all in good nature.
I think it's fitting of a cup final or a silverware final plate as it is, that it allow the players to sort of go in. As you said, there's no malice in a lot of these challenges. They're just physical. Pull up the ones that you need to pull up. As Garbutt gets a little bit of backspin, drifting this towards the back post, and again, it's almost been a long-distance battle between the two centre-backs, he and Kohler. Kohler just trying to pick apart each of those balls that he's trying to feed in Callum Garbutt.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times today for sure. Garbutt to Kohler.
Beautiful work there, Mwang-Lina. Go forward, McKinnon, I was going to say he thought about it, just gave a little nudge and a clip, and we'll take the second foul on Sweeney. A few Storm players appealing for yellow, and some Crowders Bay fans giving them some feedback. Certainly no love lost between two teams that, outside of tournaments like this, would never cross paths.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Nick Sweeney to take this set piece. 35 out from goal. He just lofts it in, looking for someone. Breer was there, but Fauchon got up to it. Dove working in close quarters. Grant just takes an agricultural swing at it. Driven long. Jackson Sullivan. Now Bryant feeding it out in front of Curran. Curran and Kasose. Kasose brings him down. It'll be interesting to see what the referee does here. He would have been through one-on-one with the keeper. He's gone to the pocket, and it'll be a yellow card. I think that's a good decision.
Yeah, I think so as well, Chris.
Crowders Bay crowd giving some feedback to a couple of the Storm players.
Again, an opportunity on the set piece here for the Crabs, and they've looked pretty lethal the last couple of opportunities they've had. Doesn't look like McKinnon's going to be on this one with his right foot.
Tom Curran with the left instead. And curl it maybe in towards that back post.
You'd have to say Garbutt's the intended target for this one.
Lofted in, looking right for Garbutt, the header. Almost pressure at the back from the defensive header. Mitchell was there and watchful and took it cleanly. Beats the first two. Lena comes away with it. Goes wide to Sweeney. Loses a bit of footing. Tom Sweeney. Lena now. Headed away for the time being. Not completely dealt with. Breer. Not quite sure what happened there. McLean threw himself into not much and ended up hitting the turf quite hard, and he's got a bit of a limp afterwards, but we're going to have a goal kick. Inside the final 15 minutes, and the Storm need to find something. I feel that Nick Sweeney's the man to do it, Butte, but they've just got to get that ball to him and give him some space to operate with. Muller now. Curran over enthusiastic. Muller dispossessed. Good strong tackle. I think McLean might have copped an accidental hand to the mouth, and Dove now down the outside tries to feed it into the box, but there's no runners there, and Jackson McLeod will take his time with it before he's forced to collect it. Now Muller.
Storm just trying to press a little bit higher now. Again, 1-0 down. They know that they need to get the next goal if they want to take anything out of this game.
Certainly do. To note, if it is level, as the offside flag goes up against Curran again. If it is level at the end of 90 minutes, straight to penalties, no extra time. It's pushed across the line there by Bryant. Monglina. Strong tackle. Well done on the recovery there from Falchon. Akasosi. Feels like it's developing almost into a war of attrition at this point. There's some battered and bruised boys out there. Plenty of running, plenty of work.
That's not a foul, ref.
Kohler.
Got him in the back.
There's plenty of emotion out there on the field, but the technical areas are starting to just creep up in temperature as well. Speaking of emotion on the field, foul goes against Tom Sweeney. You really feel that the meaning of these silverware games really comes to the fore. You know, when it's in the balance like this one, is just one goal the difference late in the game.
Well, yeah, that's right, Chris. It's not every day you get an opportunity to play for some silverware. And at this level as well, things are continuing to heat up on the field. Curran earning his side of foul in good territory. But yeah, you don't have that opportunity every day, Chris, to get silverware. So as we do start ramping up closer and closer to the 90th minute, not only on the field, on the bench,
in the crowd, everywhere, yeah.
It's really starting to ramp up here.
Almost feels fitting that the temperature's going up on the field in terms of the actual temperature with the sun coming out.
I agree.
Bring it home. Get a glare here. Time ticking along. Head towards the 80th minute. Final 10 minutes. What can it deliver? Opportunity here. Delivering again. Again, Garbutt there in the box looking to be the target man. Grant another. Two Crowders Bay players end up on the ground. Referee waves away any protests. And the set piece comes to nothing.
I'd have to say I agree with what you said earlier. I think Nick Sweeney's your answer for the Storm, but he needs players with him. I've liked what I've seen from Dove this half. He's been a live wire, number 19 for the Storm.
Lena feeding it wide. Tries the 1-2, but the second effort of running isn't there, but Teal's going to do it himself. Gets possession, calls Lena to him, and I'm not quite sure who that was intended for, but I wouldn't have thought it was McLean. He tries to thread the ball through the pack. Kohler's there again. Teal puts it into the box, looking for Nick Sweeney. Breer. See players just caught on their heels here. Energy running out. Dove feeding it back in, looking for Breer. Down the line, another turnover. Falchon gets up to it. Garbutt's there. Dove gets a boot to it, but just scuffs it. That's probably been the story of the opportunities for the men in white.
Yeah, it has been, unfortunately, and I don't think the answer is lobbing that ball into the box for Storm. I think the Crabs have got that sorted, and they have all day thus far. I really like how they look when they are playing through the lines and the ball's on the deck. So I think they do have players that can pull apart this Crab side.
Interesting as we get into the last few minutes of regulation time, whether we see any more changes. Muller with the throw. Kohler there again. Grant sandwiched. Maybe a cramp. Muller. Fine push across the sideline. Grant just cramping up, get some treatment now. It'll be interesting to see what the two coaches do here, whether they go to their benches again. Just over 8 minutes of regulation time plus stoppages. You see a change here. Oh, Chinello. Man, he's going to be called on. They looked to bring him on earlier and then decided better of it.
It's just an opportunity now for both sides to reset. Have some drinks and see how they can approach this last 8 minutes. Chris.
Is that change confirmed? Alex Grant comes off. He certainly got through plenty of work. So you're throwing now. Nice bit of sportsmanship there. Just return the ball and we'll move on. After the call an injuries, I don't know if a cramp. Is it an injury?
Not an injury for me.
Nah. Yeah, Bryant feeding it forward, looking for Curran. Good strong tackle from Hodges there. We'll take it away. Kohler now will drive it long. Looking for Dove. He heads it on. Wanting Sweeney, but finds Garbutt in pink instead. Muller now feeds it down the line. Bryant can't control it.
Muller with plenty of touches in this second half. He's had a lot of action down this left side for the Crabs.
Dove, unmarked, slices it again, just can't quite get the right contact. Garbutt watching the ball. Garbutt does well to shepherd it across and earn his team a throw in, using all his experience. Deep in defence though, as the clock ticks along. Just over 5 minutes of regulation time remains. McLean, Hodges plays it back. McLean's going to push up. Mitchell will see it away. Another physical challenge and looking for the foul, but it's not given again. The referee is happy to let them play. Happy to let it continue on, and we'll have a throw in.
Hodges on the ball now to Kohler. We'll see if they go direct here through Kohler. They're happy to still play out. They have done thus far the whole game, Chris, which has been pretty impressive.
Frustration starting to spill up. Nick Sweeney.
Dove in some space.
Chance here, Dove into the box, takes a shot. Deflected off the legs by Muller, he's there. Breer had a chance, but couldn't get a shot away. Bryant's been sniped. Not completely dealt with Breer there. Garbutt, the man, clears it to the top of the 18-yard box. Sweeney heads it forward. Muller returns it. And Tom Sweeney hustling and fighting for it.
Well, Sweeney's got to be a little bit careful there. He's on a yellow card, but things are just starting to tune up a little bit now. That was a massive save off the line from Muller. That looked for all money. It was going to be 1-1 there.
Certainly did. The two Sweeney brothers getting quite frustrated. You can see what it means to them. And they know that time is ticking down.
Neffa says that was probably Storm's best chance of the game thus far. It looked from this angle, Chris, that it was definitely in.
Yeah, I thought it was almost there, but picked off the line by Muller, as you say. He's been the most active man in this second half as they try and find a ball for Curran, but it's turned over. Breer. Inside the last 5. Here he is again, that man Muller gets to the outside of Sweeney. Sweeney in with a rough challenge. The referee's going to have a decision to make here. The referee's not going to go to his pocket, despite appeals to the 4th official here from the Crowders Bay bench. Muller's down on the sideline. The referee's coming over to check on him, and emotions are absolutely at boiling point. Wasn't a great challenge, but I think the referee's absolutely nailed that again. I don't think it was deserving of a yellow card, let alone a second. Yeah, I agree. I think he's done really well to manage this game, and probably would have been a little bit unjust to give that a second yellow, seeing as though there's been so many fouls that haven't even got a yellow this half. Yeah, no, consistent with what they've done all day as Garbutt drives it into the box looking for the sealer for the Crabs. Janello sweeping around the outside. Captain Bryant fighting hard with Kasose. I have to give points to Wayne Bailey. He's trying to still appeal for throw-ins to go his way from the opposite side of the field, despite leading 1-0. Skipper for Crudis down at the moment. Yeah, Trainer heads on again. So many stoppages. It'll be interesting to see what we look at for stoppage time when we get there. Not too far away. The trainers have been busy today, Chris. So they've covered as many metres as nearly anyone else. We saw the forced changes in the first half. We saw Grant come off. The majority of the changes have actually been through either injury or inability to continue on. Is that what we'll call cramp? You said it's not an injury, so we'll call it inability to continue on. Yeah, let's say that. Don't forget, while we are getting this treatment here for the captain in Chandra Bryant, that there is another game coming to you a little later this afternoon. The State Cup final between Western Bears and Cooksville United, also live and free on Northern New South Wales Football's YouTube. And on top of that, you can catch all of the men's, all of the women's first and reserve grade NPL across the remainder of the season, and those competitions are heating right up as well. So lots of football live and free here on Northern New South Wales YouTube channel. I'm going to see some changes for both sides, it looks like. So, looks like Tom Sweeney's coming off, and Jyden Pike will go on. And Elijah Barnes will come on, and Bryant has gone off. So there's those changes. That's for Crowders Bay. Big collision there. Got two players down with a head clash just after they've used their last rotations. Hopefully there's nothing too serious. Yep, head clash though, and immediate attention to both players. Understandably so. We realise the impact that concussion and these sorts of related pieces can have. So, see what it's going to add to this stoppage time though, as we're almost at that point. It will be interesting to see how much time will be added on. 5 minutes from the first half, and you'd have to say there's equal or more stoppages this half, Chris. Yeah, certainly. You would think so. So wait and see what the update is as we hit the 90th minute mark now. Good to see both the players back to their feet and not showing any ill effects. Now there's some debate going on with the referee. I'm not sure what's happening here. Let's see if we can get confirmation of the added time.
Give yourself some depth there.
Sweeney now working forward. Does well to cut it back away from the grain. Got Kasose with him. That's where he goes. Feeding it forward. Wanglina putting it into the substitute. He pushes it across the face, but there's no runners. You can see the idea, Butts, but needed numbers pushing forward.
Yeah, good introduction from Pike. And look, that's the ball that you want. That's the ball that you put in for your strikers and your opposite wingers. And he couldn't do much more than what he did. It just trickled across that 6-yard line in between the defenders and the goalkeeper. And that's been just the missing piece of the puzzle today for the Storm, unfortunately.
This one put forward in front of Barnes. Prods it across, shot taken, pushed wide. Crowders Bay not resting on their laurels of a 1-0 lead. And love to add a sealer here in stoppage time.
Come on, lads, let's work. Oh, win that. Go for it. Get that in.
Into the box now, Curran running forward. Will he take a strike? Will he look to find a partner? He gets another strike away and fires the inside of the right post. Tom Curran, he's been ever present for the Crabs and he gets a second. And you have to feel that might be the nail in the coffin for the Northern Storm and for silverware going to Crowders Bay United.
And that's what it means to the Crabs, as you see there. The number 9 pushes their lead to 2-0. The little Crab celebration comes out as well. And some finish. He had that first opportunity on his left, denied by Kohler, and then sat perfectly on his right foot and just guided that into the far post. And it was coming.
It certainly was. Northern Storm are going to fire last few salvos. I think they were just looking to make another change before realising that they've made their 3 rotations already. Fourth official just having a conversation with the coaching staff. McLean, who scored the opening goal, pushes forward. Yeah, that was just a clumsy foul, not much more in that.
You'd have to say, Chris, it's been a pretty evenly poised game, but, you know, the quality outshines in the front third for the Crabs.
Yeah, certainly it has done. Tom Curran's been ever persistent there, and just some of those, a little bit more consistency of quality, I think. I think we've seen some moments, but just some of those finishes, there's been a couple of chances for the Storm where they just haven't been able to execute. Some strikes, we've seen a few of them there. We saw Nick Sweeney when he first came on, a couple of dangerous runs as Barnes is racing down. 4 minutes of additional time we've just been shown. I do apologise, the clock on screen a little ahead of time.
Still time to rescue this one for the Storm, but it needs to be now.
It certainly does. You can see Crabs just crunching their numbers back, just putting that block in place. Kasose taps it on, turns it over. Out in front of McLean, it's going to be a foot race. He tries to get past. Kasose gets there though, feeds it back to his keeper. Barnes racing forward, putting the pressure on. Crowders Bay aren't done yet. Sweeney doing well. That's a very ordinary challenge, and he's going to be lucky if he doesn't find himself straight off here, and he will. That's a straight red card. That is an absolute rush of blood when he already had the foul his way. That's silly football from Nick Sweeney. Not much more you can say there, Butts. He had the foul, and then just a rush of blood, frustration.
Yeah, a lot of frustration shown there. And the Crabs faithful letting him know about that one on the far side. Rush of blood was exactly what it was. It will be a disappointing end to his day, but also for the Storm. Never want to see that. It has been a really healthy game thus far with positive battles and tussles all around the field, and McSweeney's just taking that a little bit too far.
Yeah, his brother's going to go and join him and escort him away. Just undoubtedly there'll be some enthusiastic members of Crowders Bay's crowd. Hopefully they just take it in the right light. The good thing is Storm are still pressing here. They're still going to take a strike from range. Dove does that, but it's easily dealt with again from McLeod.
For me, he's been the best on field for Storm today, Dove. He really come to life in the second half.
His second half's been without a lot of support, unfortunately. Just hasn't been able to find those connections, but he's been dangerous. He's been busy. He's thrown well above his weight. Yellow card there given out. Is that Chinello is throwing the ball back in, trying to delay things. Play some advantage here, says the referee. Keep moving forward. Stoppage time ticks down. You feel that it's probably a little too far. They could score here. It might put a little flicker of pulse in it, but Crowders Bay, no, they've just got to seal this down, chew the clock down and manage time from here. No one forward again. Muller's going to take this forward, prods it out in front of McLean.
It's been good from Storm up until the front third, I'd say, Chris. It's just the execution that's been lacking, unfortunately, today.
I think that's more than fair. Garbutt looks to go long, looking for Barnes, can't find him. Andrews picks it off. And you can almost see it, the wind coming out of the sails bit by bit here of Northern Storm. They're resigned to their fate somewhat. You wait the final whistle. See what a man who's been busy and got through plenty of work, and when his teams needed him to step up and go forward, is that man that just passed the ball. Jared Kohler, he's been solid in defence. But unfortunately for them, they have conceded the 2 goals, which looks like the community plate will head to Crowders Bay.
He has been good today, Kohler. One of the best with Dove, and might wake up tomorrow with a bit of a headache, you'd think.
He's certainly been busy picking off those Callum Garbutt long balls. I'll tell you what, it's a big season for the Crabs. They're going to seal the community plate here. They claw their way to the title with a performance that was full of polish and power in the end. They were tested, but this machine that sits top of Zone League 2, undefeated in the league, marches on. Northern Storm certainly had some moments, but the class and control saw Crowders Bay home. Butts, what impressed you most about how the Crabs got it done?
Yeah, just execution in the front third and willingness to stay in the game and in the moments. I think they ultimately just won their individual battles, and they have done all season in Zone League 2. And, you know, to pick up some medalware today is going to go a long way in how they finish this season also. We're talking to Macca at halftime and how close they are to clinching promotion as well. So, yeah, it's a great result for the Crabs today. And, yeah, just fell short, Storm, unfortunately, but really healthy contest and a great battle.
Well, it certainly was a great battle. Well done to Crowders Bay. They are your 2025 Community Plate champions for Northern New South Wales football. The Crabs march on. The Storm can certainly hold their heads high, but it is the Crowders Bay United Crabs 2-0 winners. The first goal coming from the boot of substitute Harrison McLean. The second in the second half, the sealer from Tom Curran. Deserved winners, but what a great clash. Don't go anywhere, though. From 3 p.m. today, we will have your State Cup final, Beauts. I can't wait for this one. Western Bears up against Cooks Hill United. It's going to be a cracker, live and free here on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel.
Yep, I cannot wait, Chris. And that is a 3 o'clock kickoff, and I am absolutely buzzing for that one.